Happy Halloween. By the way, I have a new appreciation for people with long hair. Just want to say that. I almost went as Belle. When we first put the wig on, I looked at my wife and I said, I'm going to go as Belle. I said, go give me a couple of those armbands, like I'm in a band. Yeah. Give me some jeans and a T-shirt from some rock band I've never heard of. Oh, my God, is that Schnurderflurter? Those are my favorite bands ever. They're German, Belgian metal dance stars. I love them.
And Brother Bilal would know about them, too.
They would, because he's
the Beltanica of music.
He's the Beltanica of music, kids. So
That's awesome, man. You look great.
So Linda Blair, for those of you guys who don't know, I interviewed her like 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was great. And I won a contest, too, for her to do my voicemail, like one of my phones from like a long time ago. Which is great. But the thing is, I was like, I need the other lady. I want the other lady.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Give me the other lady. But she was really nice. It was interesting talking like to her about like what it was like. Like she had no friends. Because the minute the movie came out, like, nobody would ever let their kids go over there and see her.
Right. Yeah, they thought it was real.
Yeah, they did. They're like, you guys do realize that, first of all, she's not Pazuzu, whatever the hell the thing was called. None of that, but it was hilarious. But, my wife and I took about an hour today. Get me ready. Long hair. You people with long hair, I appreciate you more now. I was telling Dave, our sales manager, I've eaten more of my hair today trying to eat a chip. The hell you people are doing out there with long hair? But you better put an end to it.
You learn to manage it.
Brother Bilal, he puts it back.
That's what he said. He goes, yeah, you just finally... Well, then why have it at that point? You might as well just have short hair.
No, I mean, if it's bothering me or it's a day where I don't want to like flat iron it so it's not all frizzed out, I'm just going to throw it in a ponytail. But most of the time I'll blow dry it and then flat iron it so it's just not going everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I feel like I'm possessed right now. Possessed of fun.
That's right.
I've been watching horror movies since 2 a.m. I got up and I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Let's watched Halloween, watched The Exorcist.
Yeah, we watched Halloween last night. Had the whole family together and watched Halloween. It was good Halloween fun.
It is. It was great Halloween fun.
I loved Donald Pleasance.
He was $20,000 for 4 days. That's all you get him for.
That's all he got?
That's it, for 4 days. And he was like, he said, I'm going to do this. And his daughter got him to do it because she liked Assault on Precinct 13. He wasn't going to do it. They asked originally, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing.
Right, of course.
And both of them were just in Star Wars and everything. And they're like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, they're like, no.
You're getting none of this stuff.
I'm A-list now, baby.
Yeah, so they went to him, and he's a theater actor, of course, and all these kind of things. And they said, yeah, we're gonna do this. He goes, you got 4 days, and I'm only doing it because my daughter wants me to. And they interviewed him on set. He goes, yeah, I don't really like the script. I think it's kind of stupid, but it's what the director wants. And at the end of his life, he's like, this is what I'm known for. I've done 5 of these movies, and I can't escape Michael.
The evil.
Yeah, oh, God, isn't that not the best when he says that?
Yes.
His eyes, his lifeless eyes. Evil. And for me today, The Exorcist, which is just the best movie. It is one of the best movies ever.
Dude, that was very controversial.
Adjusted for inflation, $2 billion is what it made.
Wow.
Yeah, adjusted for inflation. It is incredible. Mercedes McCambridge played the voice of Pazuzu. And she had won an Academy Award for All the King's Men. She was nominated in Giant for an Academy Award. Orson Welles said she was the greatest radio actress of all time.
Giant, the James Dean movie?
Yep. And she was a hardcore alcoholic, and she had stopped smoking. But to get the voice, she had to drink whiskey, eat raw eggs, and smoke all day. The things you do for your craft.
I was going to say, that just sounded like a normal day back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. So she was spectacular, though. But that movie's just the best movie ever. Power of Christ compels you.
I wish they had left the crab scene where she's walking down the stairs upside down.
I watched that one today. They have it, because you can get it now. And I was like,
yes.
Oh,
with the scene put back in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have an actual I have this really cool set thing at my other house, and you push a button and she crab walks down.
Wait, it's like a diorama or something?
Yeah, it's like a porcelain thing that's totally awesome, and it's her coming down the stairs.
Oh, wow.
So awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, looking at that, that's, like I said the other day, that's one of the few things in movies in the last 10 years that's freaked me out.
People don't know. So when Blatty wrote the book, he read an article in 1949 in the Washington Post about a boy who was possessed. They called him Ronald Doe, which wasn't his name. His real name was Robbie Mannheim. They did like 30-some days of exorcisms and moved him from Maryland to St. Louis. And that's what pretty much the entire book and everything is based on. He met the priest that was assisting, read all of the notes from the original, and then he put the book together based on that.
He was a NASA engineer.
Yeah, that's a good thing if you could do it.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's like, there's too many Nazis here at NASA.
Well, he does look like he's got blonde hair and blue eyes.
He does look like that. So, yeah, that whole thing, though, there's an actual movie about Robbie, and it is creepy as the other one, The Exorcist. But The Exorcist was just so amazing, just incredible, and I still, that's the movie I saw. That's why I love horror movies. My family, again, maybe not great at parenting when they were younger. We go to the drive-ins, but it wasn't their fault though. So we're at the drive-ins, and if you guys remember going to the drive-ins, so your mom and dad got the car, maybe they got a station wagon. I'm in the back. They're watching a movie, but across there, because the drive-ins, they had 4 or 5 different. I could see The Exorcist, and threw my blankie at like 5 or whatever, 4, just watching The Exorcist and just being fascinated. And when her head spun around, I'm like, oh, so awesome.
Did you freak when she puked the pea soup?
Yeah, because first of all, I hate pea soup. Even as a kid, I hated pea soup. And secondly, because it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So great. So great. Just the best. That's why I love Halloween.
Who was the actor who played the priest?
Patrick Miller.
Can you imagine being? He had to be like
Jason Miller.
We got to get this in one take.
His son is Patrick Miller, or Jason Patrick Miller, the actor. His son is like, he was a heartthrob for years, but that had to be a one taker because it was gross. And you guys want to hear something really creepy? Max von Sydow, he was 48 when he did the movie. They had to put all this makeup on him to make him look old.
Yeah, because he looks like he's in his 60s.
Yeah, he's supposed to look like he's near death. So, just an awesome movie. Lee J. Cobb, one of the great actors of our day. Just phenomenal. And that's why I love Halloween. I'm excited. We're going out tonight. Kids are super excited.
Yeah, I'm going to go get some candy.
Oh, yeah. That's it. I told them today, hey, kids, Daddy needs some 100-gram bars and Daddy needs some peanut butter cups.
So when you take them out, are you leaving the costume on?
Oh, yeah. I'm totally leaving the costume on.
So pillowcases or Halloween bags?
Pillowcases.
Yes, sir.
Charlie always has to have, she's got this little black cat fuzzy thing, but it's always about that. I used to take Hunter, my little sister, she's 20-something now, but we used to go out. We would wait till like 8:45. We go trick-or-treating for a few hours, and then we come back, we'd eat. We wait till about 8:45 or 9, so we could hit every house. We knew we were going to be last trick-or-treater, and they would just dump everything in there. We come dragging bags of candy back. Smart kids, smart. We're trying to find out where is to go around here. That's the big thing, because last year was rainy. We went a couple places. We kind of drove around because the rain was pretty gnarly, But it looks like it's going to be good tonight, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful night tonight.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm pumped. You know what? It's funny when everybody's like, "Were you like this when you didn't have kids?" Oh yeah, I love all holidays. I get into them. Christmas, wait till Christmas. I was telling him, you guys will probably see me in a Santa outfit, and maybe a Krampus outfit. You never know.
Yeah, let's see here. This tonight, low of 41, clouds and moon.
God, that sounds like a Halloween kind of night, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
I love it. I guess we could talk about real stuff, but then again, what was it? So, what am I hearing? It was an ISIS-like style attack that was thwarted in Dearborn, Michigan, and someplace next to it.
Yeah, Inkster. That's what the FBI says. Or that's what Kash Patel says.
It's surprising that would happen in or around Dearborn.
I know. That's really surprising. I mean, normally that doesn't happen around there. It is. Do we know how many people they've arrested so far?
I have not seen that.
Were these citizens?
Don't know.
I don't know.
They're claiming it was ISIS-inspired.
Yeah, so my assumption is they may be citizens, but...
Because Dearborn at this point is what, 90% Muslim?
Yeah. 90%. I would assume in and around there, probably that. It is. Are they the ones that have the call to prayer?
Yeah, that they're broadcasting through the city.
Yeah. It's
5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be, they were calling it the Pumpkin Day or after Pumpkin Day attack. Multiple people, that's all I know. See, here it is. I've heard, and get ready for this, 5 people, ages 16 to 20. So far, that's what they've announced. 16 to 20. That is insane. So Michigan Army National Guard, who was a former member, who was arrested in May planning an ISIS-inspired attack against U.S. Army site in suburban Detroit. Ammar Ajmadi Mohammed, who was 19, was accused of providing support for a planned attack. And I guess, he must have given these guys up. So, well, that's good. That's what, the beauty of it is we're hearing about it like this and it'll be gone by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because if it would have happened tomorrow, we've heard about it for quite a long time.
Yes.
When you said he gave them up, did he have a change of heart or he got caught?
He got caught, and I think he was snitching.
He rolled?
Yeah. He was snitching. So, and by the sounds of it, this thing was going to be pretty big. But it was going to be tomorrow. You would think, I don't know. And again, I don't know if the little kids out there probably trick or treat, depending on, because you would think that, but you're not going to do it in your neighborhood. Right? Especially if you're predominantly a Muslim neighborhood, unless everybody else has become secular and you don't like that, which is a possibility.
Yeah, when you're a Muslim terrorist, it's okay to kill other Muslims because reasons.
Because of what?
Reasons.
Reasons, yeah. I thought you said raisins. By the way, Keith, if you're listening. So remember we talked about raisins? So my buddy Keith, who owns Contours, amazing guy. Dan texted me this morning and said, hey, dude, I put some stuff over by Bell from Amazon. I go over there. Hundreds of bagels, raisin, yogurt-covered raisins, more raisins, raisins inside of a mixed bag of nuts, mini bagels, cookies. Guess what? Still hate raisins.
I tell you what, though, those oatmeal raisin cookies were good.
Well, good. There's a whole bunch of them waiting for you. Give them to your wife. Give them to you. Bell took one. He's like, I can't take any more. I'll eat them all tonight.
You're not going to give in, are you, Brother Chad?
No. Here's the thing. Gross. There you go. I don't know what else to say. I've never liked raisins. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys this. As a kid growing up, poor, when I mean poor, we were poor. SNAP, EBT, that kind of stuff, or back in the day. Yeah. My mom was a bad cook, and we ate liver like 3 days a week. We got government cheese that never melted. Would you like?
Even when you put it in the pan at 300 degrees.
Yeah, they give my mom, she goes, I'm going to make you a grilled cheese, meaning she's going to burn 2 portions of bread to give me cheese that is cold still. And you know what else they give you? Raisins.
Raisins.
When you get certain, and apple juice. Oh, I hate apple juice. Apple juice is gnarly. So much stuff to get to. We got our Finally Friday sounds coming up. Another monkey incident.
Yeah, what's going on with this?
They're taking over the world. You guys need to understand that, right? It's all happening.
They're getting us back.
Yeah. So I just texted in, Chad has the palate of a toddler.
I do. I will tell you guys this right now. I have the palate of a toddler for a reason. My mother was a horrible, horrible cook. She was awful. It was so bad. I was like, you know what, Mom? I'm just going to eat whatever pretend food I'm making for myself tonight. It was that bad.
Pretend food.
No, I'm good, Mom. I just had a can of Play-Doh.
Do you guys understand? Imagine eating liver's gross. It's the funnel of everything, and that's what we used to eat. It was like eating a tongue from a shoe with no spices or anything. It was gross. It was. I'm like, no, Mom, I'm just going to eat a popsicle tonight. More raisins. Ugh. All right, coming up, Finally Friday Sounds. Bunch of other goodies on the way. We'll talk about the government shutting down. Government shutting down.
Government shutdown.
And Trump tweeted out something last night, or Truth, or whatever the hell you call it. And I think John Thune's got the cojones enough to say no, because it sounds like it. But, whoo, that would be a giant mistake if they followed him on this. We'll talk about that as well. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997. Bulwark Capital wants to talk to you about your investments. Why? Because it's smart. They're doing amazingly well, as they do all the time. And I love and I work with them. And the way that they do things is so much different than everybody else. First and foremost, it's about, and we always talk about this, it's about the global market. It's not just about here. It's not a cookie cutter thing. They're active managers, and they want to give you an opportunity to get a free Know Your Risk review. Right? So you go to, you can go to bulwarkcapital.com, or you can go to knowyourriskpodcast.com, or call 866-779-RISK. They'll go through your portfolio, find out if you have hidden fees you don't know about, find out about what you want to do in your retirement, because when you're going to retirement, there's things you're going to want to do, and sometimes people think they're going to get there, and they realize, no, you haven't been aggressive enough in certain areas, or in other areas, you're in a position where you shouldn't be anywhere near some of this stuff. They just want to show you what it's all about, give you an idea of who they are, lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, and what kind of upside can they give you. Sign up today. It's absolutely free. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's knowyourriskpodcast.com, or call 866-779-RISK for Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment fall risk, not a guarantee. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 25284.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Well, check your airline. If you have a flight to catch, a staffing shortage among air traffic controllers triggered a ground delay at Nashville International Airport. We've got this story and more coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It is Friday. It's been one of those weeks. We might as well take a listen back to the craziness, the chaos that was. Finally, it's Friday.
There has been casualties, and we do anticipate, based on all information.
What do I do now? How do I support and feed my children?
Well, we're going to find out how that works. What do you bet it works? I mean, I think, what do you bet if you don't have SNAP that you've somehow managed to feed your kids? Because people come together and they do that, and then you figure it out.
There's lots of food banks are ramping up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going out. A lot going on, I should say. Right
there is
now,
a ton going on. I mean, I was talking, to my wife because there's a lot of this, we're seeing a lot of stuff that is coming, we get sent from other churches and places we've been in the past, even in Arizona, and they're ramping up big time for what is coming. And I know the Nashville Rescue Mission here, they sent me an email yesterday saying, hey, let everybody know we're ramping up. We're taking some donations, obviously, but we're getting ready for the what if scenario. Because, again, it starts tomorrow, but what does it look like the middle of next week?
Yeah. Well, it's like you said there with Chris. Sunday morning, both sides have their chance to state their case, and I think you're right. By the middle of next week, we might see some movement.
Yeah, because now it's affecting people that don't work for the government. Like this is the average person. They don't work for the government. People who work for the government, they're not, like you say, B&A right now. They're already feeling that, but this is now 42 million Americans who do not work for the government for the most part, feeling it. Yes, Bill.
The government that feeds you is the government that can also starve you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But, of course, you feed them, too. That's the difference.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they send men with guns if you don't pay your taxes.
I did a breakdown, and we'll go over it later, of what would happen if we got rid of SNAP in the way that we think we pull the plug, only to come to find out is we really don't, because then what happens? Everybody that opens up or has a nonprofit, they're going to go do what? They're going to go get grants. Where does that come from? The government. Where does that come from? Taxpayer money. So it's just all around about doing the exact same thing. You're like, oh, man. All right.
It'd probably be slightly more efficient, though, if less government interference.
Yeah, slightly more efficient. slightly more efficient, just a smidge more efficient. Coming up, the filibuster. Is that Trump with what? No, that's what I have to say on that one. No, and yes, I'm looking dazzling if that's what you're asking. My hair, God, I don't know how you people with long hair do it. I don't. I've had long hair only once, and it was not long like this.
You're having to mess with it from the sides because it's a wig, whereas if I was going to push it back, I would just go straight.
How do you know it's a wig, Bell? How do you know? How do you know I didn't go to Turkey last night and get some of that sweet hair stuff? God. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes, and check your airline before you head to the airport. A staffing shortage among air traffic controllers triggered a ground delay at Nashville International Airport today, and it could last until at least 5 o'clock. About a quarter of all arrivals and departures are affected, with average delays nearing 70 minutes. Food banks across the U.S. are bracing for a significant surge in demand. A SNAP benefit set to lapse tomorrow under the ongoing government shutdown. Here in Nashville, Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac reports from Second Harvest, which supports hundreds of partner agencies across the state.
City leaders say that if SNAP is not restored quickly, tens of thousands in Davidson County alone will feel it, and the ripple effects will hit all of the 46 counties Second Harvest serves.
So Governor Lee has launched feedtn.org. That's a centralized website where Tennesseans can go to find local food distributions by selecting their county. Federal agents say they've arrested multiple suspects in Dearborn and Inkster, Michigan, for allegedly planning a Halloween weekend terror attack. The FBI uncovering the plot, they say, through online chat rooms and seizing evidence from homes and a storage unit. Officials say the suspects may have ties to foreign extremist groups, though no specific affiliation has been confirmed. Authorities stress there's no current threat to public safety there in Michigan. The investigation's ongoing. Here comes the sun, at least in the morning. With this weekend's return to standard time, says ABC's Jim Ryan, darkness will fall an hour earlier in the evening.
The twice-a-year time change creates anxiety for people concerned about their sleep schedules. So how do you prepare?
What I would say, honestly, is do almost nothing.
Clinical psychologist and sleep specialist Michael Grandner.
This is where you get an extra hour. You're welcome.
Instead of getting to bed earlier Sunday night to match the time change, he recommends following your internal clock.
Remember, sleep is not something you do. Sleep is something that happens when the situation allows for it.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's about whose fault is it? It's always what it's about. Fault matters in this. This has nothing to do with the people. It has nothing to do with anything other than power and politics. This is about trying to grind it out and forcing the other side to capitulate. And, I mean, we're sitting here still talking about something that should have been handled a long time ago. Remember, we're talking about a continuing resolution, not a budget, because they don't do budgets. But it's about fault. Whoever's at fault, they feel will pay the price next year at the ballot box.
We have a new poll, and as far as the White House believes, they believe that it's Democrats that are paying the price for this. But our poll shows that 45% blame Trump and congressional Republicans, only 33% blaming Democrats, 22% saying they're not sure. But here's the other thing our poll shows. It shows increasing worry among Americans about the impact of this shutdown. 75% saying they are concerned.
They should be. And, somebody texted in a little while ago and said, mention the people who contract with the government. They don't get back pay. So you're not furloughed. You're just not working, and or some places may close for a while. That's the effect that this had. There's a lot of small businesses out there that work pretty much solely with the government. So they're not getting paid, and they're not employed by the government. So this is when people are starting to really feel this right now. And the thought is, well, Trump last night was tweeting or truthing, whatever the hell you call it. Maybe we should just do the nuclear option. No.
The president put his call in all caps. The choice is clear, he wrote, urging Senate Republicans to invoke the nuclear option and end the filibuster. But GOP leaders are rejecting the suggestion. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
If the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think our team would like it.
More importantly, an aide to top Senate Republican John Thune said his position on the filibuster hasn't changed. Earlier this month, pointing to Democratic proposals, Thune called the filibuster a bulwark against a packed Supreme Court and statehood for D.C. and Puerto Rico.
Exactly. See, and several of you have texted in when I mentioned earlier, if Trump was to get them to, because remember, he's Trump. Right, Trump could do some stuff where he could, how he can be. He can be pretty persuasive. And I'm like, I hope Thune remembers to take his cojones to work today. Mike Johnson, the same thing, because everybody's like, yeah, but if we do this now, because we've already done it, the nuclear option is done only right now for nominees. That's why Trump has the Supreme Court that he has. That is his lasting legacy. If he got them to do this, do you know what would happen? The swings from either side would be so massive. We'd have the Green New Deal back to an uber conservative, back to another Green New Deal, back to insurance for all to insurance for none.
And the really odd thing about the Supreme Court is that we literally have the Democrats to thank for that Supreme Court because of Harry Reid using the nuclear option.
And Chuck Schumer looked at him and said, we're going to regret this one day, because that's what he sounds like. And he was right. So if you did it for this, that kills the filibuster. That means the minority party doesn't have to show up. It means nothing. You cannot do this because because I know what would happen. It's unchecked power. So Congress is the latest fad in fashion. All right, that's what Congress is. It's fad, it's fashion. Look at me, look at my outfit, look at what I'm wearing, look at how cool it is. Oh, this is the new thing. Look it over here, look it over here. Every 2 years, you're up for it again. Senate, slow, plodding. They want to be able to withstand the trends and the craziness, to withstand always being told they're going to come after you. You need to be able to have that. Otherwise, you get extremes. That's why you can't have this. You can't. And I'm glad that Mike Johnson and them have said so, and I'm sure. And by the way, you know who else has been saying this? The Democrats. They should do because if you did this, if you're the Republicans, and the prices are going to go up, by the way, I've heard some stories about a couple people that I'm like, are you kidding me what they're looking to pay for healthcare? So when all this is said and done, that means this is all yours. So if stuff goes sideways, you own it. And then they have a chance to reverse it. So you got to stand pat, but you got to find out what it's like this weekend. as Ken and I were talking about, you make that final pitch, Sunday morning shows, and all your stuff. Go out there and say, oh, it's all their fault because of this, or it's all their fault because of that, or they hate America, or we love America more, whatever the crap is you're going to say. And then they'll chop it up and they'll put it all over the interwebs, and you go from there. So it's going to be very interesting to see, because right now the polls, it's basic. Where it depends on where you look. It's 50-50. Maybe it leans a little bit more towards the Democrats not being at fault, but it doesn't matter. It's not enough to sway anybody. And by tomorrow, that could change. But I don't think this thing's going to get done until I think it's going to break the record. The record gets set on Wednesday, is that it? We tie Tuesday and then gets set Wednesday. Meanwhile, all that being said, at least we're not Prince Andrew.
Yeah, man. What's he going to live in?
You ever seen those estates and they got those little sheds where they keep all the gardening stuff? They just laid they gave him a little space heater, and just put down a sleeping bag, and he's got to stay there now. And they changed his name to Prince Touchy McFeely. Oh, Prince Pedo. He's 13th in line. You know what they did do, though, and that was interesting, is the threats were kind of, you need to do this or else we're going to take away your daughter's titles, because they're still princesses. That was one of the big kind of like coming down on him. And he, in his very mopey ways, like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Well, and didn't they take away the royal house?
Yeah. He's going to stay on his brother's land. They took away all his stuff. He's got nothing. Nothing. I mean, they took away everything. He got spanked. But they allowed Princess Eugenie and them to keep their title. So mom doesn't have a title anymore. They took that away. And he no longer has a title. Although the interesting thing is, if you listen to Trump, I don't know why they're doing any of that, because this whole thing's a hoax.
How do you punish a pedophile? You just take away their titles.
Yeah, take away their titles.
No jail. Just take away their titles.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy slept with an underage girl. He still denies it. He tried to get information about her and do a whole bunch of stuff that was skeezy. I mean, if you follow this stuff over there, the skeeziness of it all is crazy. And for those of you, the whole thing with Mike Johnson, they're still on recess. They're still on recess because he doesn't want to swear Grijalva in. Because if he swears her in, then she's going to vote and they're going to have 218. And all of a sudden, what are you going to get? You're going to get the chance to get some of these things released.
Doesn't it still have to go back to the Senate to be
No, they can release it from there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know what the deal is. Let's bring it to the floor. Let's release it. I saw Thomas Massey said, imagine being Epstein. He goes, the meme I saw that made me laugh was, it's a shame Epstein killed himself before he found out it was all a hoax. It's not very nice, Chad. No, it's just ridiculous. It is. They took away his title. They probably took away his Range Rover and his vest. Oh, when they take away your turtleneck and vest, you're screwed. You're absolutely done for. Let's see here. A lot of people out there chiming in about the nuclear option. So the nuclear option is you scrub the filibuster. So the minority party in the Senate, they have a single thing that they can do that kind of keeps the playing field even. You need 60 votes to get anything done. So there has to be some compromise. So with the nuclear option, you can override that and just make it a simple majority. And by having a simple majority, that allows you now to never have the opposing party to ever have anything to do with anything. And so that's what would make the wild swings from side to side just absolutely ridiculous. And this is where I think you see somebody like Mike Johnson, and especially John Thune. We always talk about it. If you're a president, I mean, Trump's a little bit different, but if you're a president, you're renting. These guys they're buyers, right? They're going to be in D.C. a long time is the way they look at it. And this will affect their lives if they were to get rid of this as it has affected. Look at the Democrats. The reason we have the court that we have today is because they went nuclear option to get Obama's nominees through. And once that happened, that was it. And now they're paying the price. So if you took away the filibuster, and they tried, the Democrats tried to take it away a couple times. And what happened? You had the likes of Manchin and Kirsten Sinema said no, because they understood the ramifications and what it would do. Because then at that point in time, you can make it a popularity contest by voting everybody all the free stuff they wanted to keep yourself in power. And that's when, the minute that happens, the minute people really realize I can vote all the free crap I want for myself if we can get this here, and we'll threaten this guy in a way or gal that they've never been, because we know we can sway it any way we want, and the public will start to do that in such a way that it'll doom us.
And what people need to understand is the filibuster is there to prevent the end of debate. It doesn't, it's not necessarily a vote on the item itself, but they have to invoke cloture, which means, okay, we're not voting on this anymore. We're not discussing this anymore. Now we're going to take it to a vote. And you have to have 60 votes in the Senate to end the debate on the subject.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine, though, what that would look like, man? Because everybody knows, look, eventually we're not going to be in power. In theory, you think that. In theory, you think, well, we're never going to be in power. But if you're the party in power, you could just vote yourself a situation and make sure that the minority party always stays a minority. But then you're going to get to the point where you're going to have to deal with the people. So it was meant to be slow and cumbersome for a reason. All right, coming up, AI. This is crazy. I want to know if you would do this with AI. It's a trip. We'll talk about that straight ahead. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 997. Relief Factor is awesome. I take it every single day. The more I work out, the more I'm trying to do, the less I'm sore. And Relief Factor is the reason why. It is incredible. You can take it every day. It is 100% drug-free. Formula is safe, non-addictive, ideal for regular use. And this is to help you with aches and pains, right? As you get older, you're going to get aches and pains. But especially when you overexert yourself. You go out and you work out a little bit more. And one of the things about working out is y'all feel good, right? Like everybody's like, but then what happens? The next day you're sore, and then you're leaving sore the day after that. And the next thing you know, you're not working out, and I'm not going to do it. It hurts too much. This helps you recover in an amazing way. It's got omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol, cusaminocarin. All this amazing stuff helps you with their inflammatory response, and it's just amazing. This is what I want you to try. Jumpstart trial bag. It is $19.95, less than a cup of coffee a day. And it's a 3-week trial bag, and you watch. You're going to feel the difference in your aches and pains, your muscles and joints. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 800, the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Oh, better check with your airline before going to the airport because we've got a ground delay due to the government shutdown. We'll tell you about it at 1 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A ground delay, you say?
Ground delay.
Why is that? Is it because of the weather?
Yeah, it's too beautiful outside.
Oh, there's no wind. Did you see that plane? And was it heading to Cancun from like Detroit or New Jersey in JetBlue? 15 people went to the hospital because it just
hit turbulence.
Yeah, bad. It hit like I guess a bad air pocket.
Wow.
And it's funny because you think it falls hundreds of feet and you find it fell like 12 feet.
Yeah,
but it feels like a lot.
Well, there's only about a 1.5 foot distance between you and the roof.
That's the problem. That is the problem with that. So if you're gonna go to the airport, maybe make plans to get lunch before you go there. So
yeah, you might want
and
to
maybe dinner, or maybe drive to wherever you're going at this rate. It's man, I wonder how many people they're missing.
I don't know.
This is going to be like for all the stuff, the battle about, the healthcare costs and all these kind of things, all of those are understandable. But what about if something goes wrong and there's nobody where they're supposed to be, or they're shorthanded, and they thought, well, this guy could just land all 9,500 planes coming in every minute, and then there's a wreck.
On 3 hours sleep.
Yeah.
If that much.
Yeah. And he can't even afford the cocaine he needs to get through it. So, especially since Trump started blowing it up.
How's he supposed to buy his Coke if he's not getting a paycheck?
Well, not only that, but Trump's blowing it all up. Least you could do is go grab some for these guys. By the way, in the 80s, that was a great joke because they had a lot of Coke problems on the air traffic controllers in the 80s. Oh, but could you, and see, that changes everything if something like that happens. It does. I mean, if you think about if there was an incident like that, you got to look up and say, okay, wait a minute here. Now we're talking death in the air. We can't have that. We can't. So we'll see.
That's when Sean Duffy will just turn in his keys and
his
the
badge.
whistle and say, it's been real.
It's been real, but I got to go.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next hour, more on who knows what and then some Halloween fun stuff. AI didn't get to it here because I think it takes a little bit more. And, of course, this weekend is a stupid thing happening this weekend, Saturday going into Sunday. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Got the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes, and you better check with your airline if you have a flight to catch over at BNA because there's a staffing shortage. So the FAA has triggered a ground delay due to the shortage of air traffic controllers today over at BNA, and they say this could last until about 5 o'clock this afternoon. Food banks across the U.S. are bracing for a significant surge in demand as SNAP benefits are set to lapse tomorrow under the ongoing government shutdown, which is affecting BNA, as you just heard. Here in Nashville, Channel 4's Julianne Bukovac reports how you can access help here in Nashville.
Metro has also launched a resource banner at the top of Nashville.gov that connects people with rent and utility help through Metro Action and Metro Social Services.
Governor Lee, by the way, launched feedtn.org. It's a centralized website where Tennesseans can find local food distributions by selecting their county. President Trump, meanwhile, calling for the use of the nuclear option in the Senate that would do away with the 60-vote filibuster margin and clear the way for a Republican majority vote to end the government shutdown. But House Speaker Mike Johnson at a press conference this morning.
The filibuster has traditionally been viewed as a very important safeguard. If the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think our team would like it.
So here we are, day 31 of the government shutdown, and no Senate vote scheduled today. Head of the FBI says it prevented a suspected terror attack in Michigan. Here's ABC's Luke Barr.
The FBI director tweeting this morning that they thwarted a potential terror attack over Halloween weekend, and he thanked the men and women from the FBI. He said that the FBI arrested multiple subjects in Michigan, and our affiliate saw some FBI agents outside of homes in Dearborn, Michigan. The FBI in Detroit confirmed that that action was happening in the cities of Dearborn and Inkster. There is currently no threat, according to the spokesperson.
Football, not on YouTube.
From College Game Day, where ABC is the most watched network in college football, up 23% compared to last year, to Monday Night Football, where the Cowboys will face off with the Cardinals, to Dancing with the Stars, which had its biggest premiere in 5 years and has seen viewership skyrocket for 5 weeks. Your local news, GMA and World News Tonight, it's all gone dark, along with ESPN and the Disney networks.
That is because Disney wants more money from Google's YouTube TV, and YouTube TV says no. We'll see what happens. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thwarted. That's what they're saying. Thwarted. People arrested in Dearborn, Michigan.
Why can't they just say stopped?
Because
why's it got to be thwarted?
Sounds better, doesn't it? Thwarted.
Because in the South, for me at least, thwarted. They thwarted it. Thwarted it.
So
I have to say thwarted.
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 Thwarted. It was thwarted, Chad. We stopped it from happening. 2 were actually arrested. 3 have been questioned. They were practicing at a gun range this week and in chat rooms. I have to be honest, I didn't know they still had chat rooms. Where exactly would I find a chat room? Is it only Reddit?
That's the only one I know of.
Yeah. What do you go to? Jihad? Yeah, have you been to the Jihad site on Reddit?
Just type it right in.
Maybe they're using that as a description for group text or something.
Maybe. They said that it was, they called it Pumpkin Day, the day after Pumpkin Day. And they were at the gun range this week practicing. So ages 16 to 20. So we'll see what comes out of this. And it was great work. I mean, you did what you needed to do. And hopefully, I mean, they say it was going to be an ISIS-inspired attack. But outside of that, I don't know what else. But originally it was 5 people arrested. Now it's 3 questioned, 2 arrested. Are there more out there? And now you really have to, because if there is more out there and it's not just those people could be ready to go at any moment. So you got to be prepared for that. Because you do worry about a thing like tonight, right? Especially after something like this. It's awful. It is, I've often wondered this, though. How many guys came here from other countries? It was like, I'm going to blow up America, jihadi, blah, blah. They get here, and they're like, this place is pretty nice. Like, this is
like the North Korean soldiers getting to Russia going, wait a minute. What's on the web?
Yeah, I've never even heard of the web. This was no, wait, what? Kim, he didn't create the hot dog or anything? He didn't have 18 holes in one or whatever he was? You got to think, though, there are some people that have come here and like 3 weeks into it, like, let's just hold off a little bit and find out more about these people, right? So we get even madder at them, but let's do it at a baseball game. I heard if we go to this barbecue place, this will make us really angry. Thank God, though, they caught him. And apparently this is a link to a guy they arrested in May who also they thwarted that attack, Ken. Thwarted. Yeah, that does.
Thwarted.
What would you like to say? What do you think would be better?
Stopped.
Intercepted?
Intercepted.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Thwarted.
Thwarted, yeah.
Thwarted.
That seems like somebody. You read too much, sir. Stop with that. You're ever getting a conversation with somebody who just wants to impress you with their vocabulary. They say a bunch of words like, I'm going to have to Google some of that. You're just like, yeah, that sounds great. What does this mean exactly? That doesn't even mean anything like that. So 5 were arrested, but now they're saying it was only 2 that were arrested. 3 have been and are being questioned. And the alleged attack was timed for Halloween when innocent children would be enjoying themselves trick or treating. Man, scumbags. And the guy in May, he had planned to shoot up an army. He's a reservist. He planned to shoot up the army. He's only 19, and they got to him, and they think it might be part of a group, and maybe he was a snitch. Said, hey, you guys might want to watch. You think I'm bad? Just check these guys out. See what that's all about. Just put it out there. I mean, may not be.
Yeah, they got to him and said, we can make this go a little lighter on you if you tell us some things.
Yeah, that's right. We're not going to waterboard you so much. The waterboarding's weird because they're not going to kill you because they're trying to torture you.
And you're going to say whatever you can
to get out of it.
To get it to stop.
Yeah. So, you're right. I mean, that's why it's never worked. Torture doesn't work. It doesn't. Because, as Ken just said, you're going to say anything in your power to stop people from doing whatever it is they're doing to you. And so, it's not going to work. It's the threatening of the family. It's like torturing and hurting others is a different story if you're doing it in front of them. Threatening to blow them up. Like that movie Sicario. Remember that? Where that part where, what's his name? Brolin was talking to the terrorists and saying, no, that's your brother right there. We're going to blow your brother up. And he blows his brother up in there. And he's like, we can do your whole family. And that right there is different.
That'll get your attention.
That absolutely. But these guys who are hardened fighters in a lot of ways, they don't care.
They probably don't even have family.
Yeah.
Or their families probably been murdered or killed in an airstrike somewhere.
Yes.
Or, so they're like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What do you have to what do you have to, you're right. I mean, because they're going into all of the things they're doing knowing they're going to die. That's the end goal. My goal would be, we're going to keep you alive forever. How do you like those apples?
Exactly.
We're going to keep you alive forever. You will never get those virgins.
You will never get them.
And if you do get them, it's just going to be a bunch of nerds playing video games.
And they're all male.
And they're all men. Because the only girls who play video games, they're all usually half naked on Twitch making millions of dollars. So there's that.
Don't forget, it's over 50% of gamers are women now.
Yeah, they are. That's right. Over 50% of women. And the growing, when it comes to video games, the growing side of it is also an older generation. It's not 20-somethings. It's like my aunt, she plays video games on her phone all the time. And it's video game culture is here. Speaking of the internet, would you do this?
Knowing the exact moment you're going to die is more possible than you might think.
We ask you 29 questions and we tell you when you're going to die, the exact date of your death.
Brent Franzen is the founder of Death Clock AI, an app that uses artificial intelligence to analyze a person's health. And no, it's not meant to predict the exact day of your death.
We don't actually think you're going to die on that specific date, but we do think it's directional. Very accurate. The life expectancy itself.
That is kind of creepy right there. Would you let AI take a swing at your life expectancy?
He says they trained an AI model on 1,200 peer-reviewed longevity studies.
And then it makes a series of recommendations, supplements, cancer screenings, things you should talk to your doctor, a whole bunch of different things.
But AI has a tendency to go wrong or hallucinate, a particular concern when talking about public health. Franzen says,
we see it in testing and we've mostly engineered it out. We're very conservative in the recommendations that get made.
You're very conservative. You're going to die between now and 50 years. We did it. We predicted it. Although, can you not predict that? Here's where I think it will go when I was looking at some of this. It will, the way that, because you answer all these questions and it gives you, it may not tell you the day, but it can get close enough. In the future, I think it'll be much better. And then it can tell you maybe things you can do to fix some of the issues. Like, you weigh 800 pounds? I wouldn't do that. When are you going to die? At any moment, the possibility is there. Do you think the AI will lie to you to make you feel better for your body positivity?
Depends on if she loves you.
She doesn't love you. She's like that stripper who has a heart, but not really. Like Jenny. Jenny didn't love Forrest. We all know that. That was all crap.
Hey, she was nice enough to go to the West Coast and bring him back AIDS.
Yeah, she did. AIDS and a baby. Right? What do you think of that? There you go. And then she died.
My Jenny.
Jenny. What's wrong with Jenny? She has an incurable disease.
And it ain't a cough due to cold.
It's not. Oh, my goodness me. She has night sweats. It's just, yeah. So, my AI hasn't lied to me yet when it comes to that because I haven't given it a name. I haven't given it. You got to fight that the hardest you can because once you give it a name, it becomes kind of real. But the one thing about the AI is it's going to be able in the future. I think it will be able to do a lot for health in that way of predicting. Hey, you're going to have another 25, 30 years if you keep doing what you're doing because, according to all of this, especially when you get to the point where, because think about this, and this is one thing, because we're all going to need this eventually because nobody's going to be working. So, but we're going to be able to have many doctors at our house through AI where we consult with AI. You can hook yourself with the EEG, do the kind of things that you need to do, especially if you're feeling sick, and AI is going to be able to help you with that. and advise you, that'll be kind of cool. Well, it's trying to solve all the world's mysteries. And we hope it does. Meanwhile, we're still closed. Us, the United States of America. Doesn't look like we're getting anywhere closer to being open. Now, I'm thinking, okay, several people said they think it's going to go till after Christmas. Man, I don't know if they could afford for it to go after Christmas. Poly Market currently has it 45% after November 16th. They do believe the next best time will be this week at 22%. Then it goes down to 17% and then 15%, then 45%. Poly Market is pretty damn good at picking these things out. 98% said it will end. You can go vote, and you get to vote. You can go bet on these things nowadays. But they think the next best time is next week, and that's what we were talking about. You got your chance to go make your case this week on the Sunday shows. Then they're going to chop it up, chop. And they're going to put it all out there for everybody to consume on their TikToks and all that kind of stuff. Then they'll take some more internal polls, and then come the middle of next week as they get close to that record, if it really starts to move in a direction that one side is taking it in the shorts, then you'll see some serious movement. But right now, neither side is really getting beat down in a way that makes them go, okay, we got to act. Got to do it now.
If this gets to Thanksgiving and it screws up people's Thanksgiving plans to any great degree, I think that's what's somebody's going to pay the price for that.
Man, yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think about it, too. It's Christmas time.
Yeah, but the Thanksgiving comes first, and that's usually a time when you're buying, a lot of food. People are traveling, going to, and if you don't have the money to do that, or it's expensive beyond the point of availability, somebody's going to be looking to blame.
Yeah,
somebody.
Well, totally. But even so, then you get past Christmas. But I mean, Thanksgiving. But you think about this: if you go 2 months without a paycheck. Even if you get a paycheck in the first week of December for all that makeup, you are so far behind Robin, Peter, paying Paul, doing all the things you're having to do. The thought of going to get Christmas presents for your family, you've crushed potentially the holiday rush. But yeah, thanks. And you know what else? Thanksgiving, the last thing that either side wants to see are 2 mile long lines waiting to get food at pantries.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be just that.
That starts showing up on social media. That's going to galvanize people.
That is going to galvanize, yeah. And again, one thing about us is we want to find who to blame. Which one of you idiots caused this mess? Both of you are idiots. And I quite frankly, think I will assign 50% to each of you at this moment in time. Republicans, go in there. Do your thing. Democrats, you realize you got to give. Go in there and say, well, look, we're in the minority party. We fought hard. And if this is what they want, and they want to get rid of all these things, that is probably going to bite them in the ass, but we don't know. But at this point in time, adults get in the room and they fix problems. This isn't about fixing the problem. This is about capitalizing on the issue right now.
And it's all going to depend on where the independents are.
Coming up. Hold on here. Pull my hair back. Yes, I am Linda Blair. I am Linda Blair. And I am right now enjoying myself playing a radio host. Who knows what I'll play later on today?
I think it'll be funny if we come back from break and you're floating above the microphone.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be so good. The power of Christ compels you. Max Van Sydow. What a great actor he was. This is the Chad Benz Show, Super Talk 99.7. Raycon, best earbuds around. Love my Raycon. I wear them all the time. The classic earbuds are, first of all, they're ergonomically amazing. They've been designed to fit in your ear, to not hurt your ear. There's no stems, there's no wires. Then you get to the sound quality, which is otherworldly. Then we start getting some other serious cool things like active noise cancellation. You get this amazing, incredible way to switch in between things like, I love awareness mode. So when I'm outside doing something and working out, I like the awareness mode. I like to hear what's going on around, but I also like to hear what's in my earbuds, and they give you that. They've got isolation mode where the focus is there. You can switch in between those so easy. Great for talk, great for music, multi-connectivity, fast charging, just to name a few things. 30-day happiness guarantee. They start well under $100, and now is your chance to grab them 20% off. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad now. We're saving you big. Buyraycon.com/Chad for the classic earbuds from Raycon. Buyraycon.com/Chad.
All right, we've got a ground delay at the Nashville International Airport because of a shortage of air traffic controllers tied to the government shutdown. And 2 federal judges have just ruled ordering the Trump administration to use emergency funds to keep SNAP benefits flowing. These stories and more at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So that was the big battle going into the emergency funds. The emergency funds won't cover everything. They're there to cover a shortfall in the regular fund. So let's just say it's $10 million, and all they have in the regular fund is $7 million, and they've got $5 million in the emergency fund. They move 3 over. And the Trump administration argued that is to cover if there is no money there. That is not to be used to pay out everything and become the fund. And the judge said, no, pay it out. But it still doesn't cover everything. So if you were getting an average, I think it's $186 or $88 is the average SNAP. So you might get $100, which is better than nothing. You know how much ramen you can buy with that?
Well, and there's also, there's no timeline for when those funds have to be issued.
Yeah. That's what you do right there. You just go, fine, that sounds great. So we'll release them in, I don't know, 7 months.
Yeah. So, I'm unless the judges have said that in the ruling, but I think that's what the reporting would be, is that the judges have and say that you need to release it immediately. And I don't know if that's the case. So the reports I'm seeing, it is still unclear how quickly payments would resume.
Yeah, it's probably not going to go out tomorrow because there's nobody working. That's the other side of it.
That's the other thing.
Some people are furloughed. There's nobody working. It is, and you just heard about B&A, so make sure. We were so lucky because my daughter came here. She's out with grandma. Grandma doesn't do well. She doesn't want to leave the house just yet. As far as, grandpa built it, not ready to leave just yet. So
I understand that.
Our eldest, she lives out with grandma, make sure that grandma, everything goes well. And she flew out here. And it was pretty smooth. They left on time. Everything seemed to be pretty smooth. There didn't seem to be any issues, which was good. But there was no doubt. My wife was nervous she bought the ticket last minute because she just didn't feel comfortable because our daughter has autism. And she's not afraid to fly. But if she gets derailed, it goes quick.
Right. If something wonky happens.
Yeah. So we will see. I mean, it's going to be. Some people are saying it's going to be Christmas. I don't think it's going to be Christmas. I just. There's no way.
There's no way they'll let that go.
If this goes to Christmas, and the Republicans hold out that long, and the Democrats hold out that long. The price that they're all going to pay at the ballot box would be huge. We could all run as a third party and win.
Well, and will lenders allow, say, air traffic controllers that long not paying their mortgages?
That's if you guys have, or if any of you work in mortgage companies and stuff, if you know that whether it's a car, like some of you work for a company that's got liens on cars. And it's an air traffic controller, and they're not getting paid. Is there a grace period, or is it just like everybody else? Tough. Better get that money for your $1,200 car payment. I mean, could you imagine? Yeah, if, like you said, cars are different than houses. It takes a while. There's a legal process you go through.
It's like 3 months, I think, before you're actually...
Before they get to the point where they're like, we're going to have to start legal proceedings.
Right.
And then at that time, it may take another 6 months or a year. I remember in 2008, there were people that stayed in their home for well over a year, still making their money, just not making their payments and saving it. So if this, are we going to see a rash come Thanksgiving of repos start? Oh, but yeah, they can't let it go to Christmas.
That would be something, man.
Oh, goodness me. We would be in a full-blown recession by then, too. I mean, there's no way. How could you? The largest employer in the country is not paying its people.
Because, again, is what we talked about is you've got contractors who are not federal employees but rely on the federal jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
it's not
they're
like you
gonna
could
be
take those resources and suddenly, I'm going to go over here and work for this guy instead.
Yeah.
Because if they open the government up tomorrow, you're expected to come back over and fulfill your contract.
Exactly. So it's... Whoo!
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. And if it goes to Thanksgiving, that is going to put a crimp in a lot of things. I mean, and another 2 weeks, 3 weeks of this, oh my God, how ugly could that get? But if we get to the point where, because there's going to be a certain point where they're just going to throw their hands up and nothing's going to get done. But I don't think Trump would allow that. I don't. I think he would have to look at Mike. But I don't know. I don't know if either side. I think that Republicans have more cojones as far as staying the course. That being said, they have more to lose because they're in power. Democrats aren't in power. They can only win. They could lose more seats, but, and they're bad at messaging. So, I mean, this is going to be interesting. No doubt about that. All right, coming up, talk some Halloween stuff. Got to put my hair back on right before they come in and try to exercise me. The demons. Exercise the demons is what I said. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And check your airline before you head to the airport. Travelers flying into Nashville today could face delays due to a shortage of air traffic controllers. The FAA has issued a ground delay at BNA Some flights held at their origin airports before heading to Nashville. Nearly a quarter of flights affected, delays averaging more than an hour. A staffing issue tied to the ongoing government shutdown. Government shutdown. 2 federal judges have ordered the Trump administration to use emergency funds to keep SNAP benefits flowing. The ruling's coming after lawsuits from 25 states and D.C. arguing the administration has a legal duty to maintain food assistance. Still unclear how quickly payments will resume or if the administration will appeal. Meanwhile, food banks across the nation have been bracing for a significant surge in demand. Here in Nashville, Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac reports from Second Harvest would help supply food banks across the state.
Second Harvest says if SNAP is delayed through November, that's 14.5 million meals lost across its 46-county footprint, 3.6 million in Davidson County alone, plus roughly $13.2 million pulled out of local grocery spending. Leaders say the need is already up 46% since 2020 and an additional 10% year over year.
So if you need help, Metro says it has launched a resource banner at the top of Nashville.gov that connects people with rent and utility help. And then Governor Lee has launched feedtn.org, which is a centralized website where Tennesseans can find local food distributions by selecting their county. You can access volunteer and donation opportunities and connect with faith-based and nonprofit organizations mobilizing across all 95 counties. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
I'm WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Stefano DiPietro. Plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures upper 50s to the low 60s this afternoon. This evening for trick-or-treating, we'll be down to the 50s, a mostly clear sky, and a pretty light wind for us. So good news for the kids that'll be out and about this evening. Overnight tonight, we're down to the 40s and the 30s. Tomorrow we'll start with more cloud cover. Be ready for some rain showers late in the day and overnight on Saturday, though we should find a good amount of dry time through the day. Lingering shower on Sunday. We'll stay in the 50s in the afternoon, but dry things out.
All right, Beacon Capital Management wants to talk to you. If you're worried about long-term care, they can help you with that. If you're worried about trust, wills, taxes, and, of course, dollars and cents, they can help you with all of those things. All you got to do is give them a call. Call them today, 615-488-9303. Making sure these things are handled is part of what retirement is, and they want to help you get there and stay there. The last thing you want to do is unretire. That is not something... unless it's something you're choosing, you don't want that. They're local. You can sit down and talk with them, and they can tell you about all the options available. Maybe you've got a car, right? You got all this interest in this car, and you can deduct up to $10,000 when it comes to loan interest, but you've got to know exactly what the restrictions are. Or maybe you're 65, and guess what? You have a chance to take an additional up to $6,000 off. It's not a phase-out of tax on Social Security, but it does help. But again, there's restrictions that come with this. Call them today, sit down with them, find out what they can do for you. 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, or check them out online at beaconcm.com. This is a paid placement. All right, guys. Busy Bee's got all kinds of things. You still have a chance, by the way. If you've got a pumpkin, Charlie Brown, you go out and get that, and you carve Busy Bee in there, and you tag them. Boom! Guess what? You're going to get a free Beehive Club membership. It's that simple. On top of that, they got great opportunities for you. So if you need to get your fall maintenance for your HVAC, go with Busy Bee. They're going to do something for you that's incredible. You schedule fall maintenance, you're going to get for $220 value, absolutely free. They're going to come in and do a free dryer vent cleaning. They got other great opportunities for you, including taking advantage of if you get a new HVAC system across the board, free 10-year parts, 5-year labor warranty, $750 value, free. There's lots of tricks, tons of treats, just the best around. That's Busy Bee. Call them today, no matter if it's plumbing, heating, or just to say hi. What are you waiting for? 775-7833, 775-7833. Visit them online at busybehvac.com. Second judge ruled. Snap. All the judges are ruling. Oh, the judges are ruling. You must pay SNAP or else. We'll find out. Again, this is a law I'm sure will all be continue to be adjudicated as it goes. So judges have ruled that they have to pay out SNAP benefits from the emergency fund, which will not cover the entire thing. It's not going to cover the entire thing. It will cover some of what's out there. But this isn't going to recover, what people are going to lose off the front end, and people are upset.
People have work, but they can't afford the mortgage and food. The biggest thing I'm worried about is getting healthy foods. Meat is expensive, eggs are expensive, milk.
Life is getting expensive, there's no doubt. And then healthcare. I mean, that's a lot of what this is about. Look, the healthcare issue is real. What's going to happen to the subsidies will be there, but they're going to be way smaller than they were. And they're going to go back to pre-COVID subsidies. Well, guess what's happened? Prices have gone through the roof. And now people who are used to not having to pay $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month are going to now have to pay $2,000 or $3,000 a month. So, and this is where it gets a little weird on the exchange. So think about this for a second. Who's going to stay on the exchange? If you had a family of 4 and you were on the exchange and they told you, okay, yeah, you can write this off later on, but it's going to cost you $3,500 a month or $2,800 a month. And you're like, I'm healthy. Screw it. I'll pay cash if I need it. And go from there. You're going to get that. What happens now is people, because I did that for a couple of years. Because it was ridiculous. I'm like, I'm not paying this much money for something. I'll pay the fine. I'm healthy. So what's going to happen, though, the fear is all of those people like that who feel like they're young and they're healthy, they're going to drop out. Well, what's that do? It leaves the unhealthy to do whatever they have to do to make sure that their payment goes through. And when that happens, you're going to have a giant swath of people that are unhealthy, the healthy people that are there to bring their money in and for all intents and purposes, lay their bet down that nothing's going to happen to them and not use it so they can put all of those things towards the people that are going to use it. Well, if those people go away, you're going to have a nightmare. And then premiums go up again. And so, and look, do I understand? Obamacare's a failure. The Washington Post called it a failure 2 weeks ago. It's been a failure. It's been an absolute failure because it didn't control prices. It didn't do a lot of what it said it was going to do. And the more government, and what a shocker, right? Just like in college, the more government got involved, the higher the prices went. I know that's crazy. That's crazy. No, it's what happens. Go look at the correlation between college, when they started guaranteeing all these loans and how high the prices got. Because if you're going to guarantee all these loans, you're going to hand me all this money, I'm going to charge whatever I want to charge. You're going to still pay it? Go ahead. So the more government got involved, the more that not only just government at the federal level, also at the state level gets involved, the higher these things go. And if you had to make a choice today and you think, I'm relatively healthy. The stuff I do need, you know what? I can go to a doctor, pay cash, and I'm still going to come out on the other end fine. People are going to do that. And prices are going to go up. And the Republicans, look, they say they got a plan. This is their plan, right? The Democrats just want to keep funding it. No, that's just it. We spend about $15,000 per person on health care in our country. Think about that. And our outcomes are getting worse. Other people pay far less and their outcomes are better. Some of that is the fact they have better diets, but the fact is their outcomes are better. They don't go bankrupt. None of that stuff. So we're in a position where I'm looking here going, okay, so what is your plan? Democrats throwing more money at a broken thing isn't going to fix it. That's very government of you. And Republicans, you saying waste, fraud, and abuse, we get rid of that. Make sure illegals don't have health care. We get rid of that. That's like saying, hey, I'm a football coach. What do you guys do? We're going to pass the ball, we're going to hand it off, and we're probably going to tackle. Those are talking points. That's not a plan. It's not. And this is where are the serious people? And all this is going on, and what else is happening? You've got tons of money, billions of dollars over the years that flow in through lobbyists into all of these politicians from the healthcare industry. So their plan is not to fix it, because in their mind, again, it's not broken. But if you have to make that choice, I think most of you listening, right? If your choice was you're on the Obamacare ACA, and all of a sudden you went from paying $500 a month to $1,700 a month or whatever it is, what are you going to do? Are you staying on it if you're healthy? Or are you saying, screw it? You know what? There was a guy, I think he was in Detroit, and he posted in his area, the plans that were available for a family of 4 were like $3,000 a month. And yes, it's tax deductible, but $3,000 a month. And he's like, I'm healthy. You know what? We'll pay cash. I think you're going to find so much of that. Absolutely. So, and the other thing, somebody said, let's stop buying health insurance and start paying the hospital direct with our premiums. That sounds great. And I think you can do that with Kaiser in California does that. Everything is in, like, you join Kaiser Permanente. There's a few places like that where you join them and you're in their network, their group, right? So you can't go anywhere else. You can't go outside of any of the Kaiser. You want to go to, an MRI, it's a Kaiser MRI. You want to go to, see a psychiatrist or a counselor, it's a Kaiser one. You can't go to the one that you like to go to that's out of, unless you're paying cash. Otherwise, no. But their plans have gone up too. And I like that. Look, we got to think outside the box. We do. You know what I think most people would like? Most people would like this. Give me the bare minimum, the oh my blanking goodness, it's all hit the fan for $100 a month with a $30,000, deductible. And then everybody'd like to just roll the dice. I think most people would like that. Say, okay, you know what? If I need something else, I pay for cash. Because if you're in the position where you got hit by a car and it's going to be $3 million, that $30,000 is different than when they send you a bill and it's, oh, don't worry. You after you get your deductible, you still only have to pay 20% of your $2 million. Yeah. Quit subsidizing the insurance companies, says 6442. The insurance companies are not the problems. They're not healthcare. That's true. They're not healthcare. They're not. But you helped write the law. They helped craft the bills. And government and insurance, go look at the amount of money they poured into and still pour into D.C. People are frustrated. They're angry. And it doesn't matter what you throw at them. Like, if you mentioned, everybody's like, well, Medicare for all is what the left always goes to that. You can have a hybrid like most nations do. And we always hear about how bad England and Canada are. Well, you know what? England and Canada, they're kind of a mess anyways. They're kind of always a mess in a lot of things. Switzerland has a hybrid, and they love their healthcare. The Dutch have theirs. And you know, you only ever hear about the bad, but their hybrid is everybody has that catastrophic protection. But you have private insurance for the day-to-day, sniffle nose, going to see the doctor, those kind of things that you can take out on your own. Japan has something very similar. We need to figure out what's going to work for us here because it is broken and it is expensive. And it's going to get more expensive. And government is so intertwined in this. You know, when I was in Arizona, at one point, I'm like, I can't pay. It's ridiculous. The cost. First of all, our premiums were more expensive in some cases in getting medicine to pay the copay than just paying cash. And the premiums, and you know, it's like, oh, did you hit your deductible? Well, kids, let's go. We all got to get hit by a bus so we can hit our deductible. Am I right? Some of these deductibles are so insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts.
I mean, it comes in handy for something catastrophic like that, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's the point.
I mean, you're already paying an arm and a leg just in premiums. And then you've got to reach this astronomical deductible for anything to even kick in.
Yeah, for anything to even kick in. So it's like, you better hurry up and use it. But that means to hit a lot of these things, to hit the deductible, something had to go kind of wrong.
It had to go. You had to have a really bad day.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if your deductible's $8 or $10,000, you had a bad day. Yes. Right? Okay, you didn't get cancer, but you know what? You broke your arm and you had to have surgery.
Something bad happened.
Yeah, you lost a finger.
Right.
Something went sideways. Oh, I think, but when I was out there, we did concierge medicine, you know, and this is where we paid a doctor every month. I think it was $150, covered the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
We paid his prices for stuff if he needed stuff. And he had everything, an x-ray machine. If we needed an MRI, which we never did, guess what we did? We go over to there. We tell him we're with Dr. Lamb, and it was $100.
That's like our client Grace Point.
Yeah. So you do that, and it's amazing. And I'm telling you, the other thing is, I was telling Belle this. When we go see him, we'd walk in. We're the only people in his office. Hey, Chad. Hey, Steph, come on back. We'd get there at noon. We'd leave at 1:30 or 2. We'd spend an hour talking about all kinds of stuff. And it was just, it was a different thing. But I think most people would love to do that and then have some sort of, oh my God, insurance. Right? That's just it. The oh my God, where it's 30, 50 grand, whatever it is. But again, you're only using it if you get hit by a bus.
Right.
Because you get hit by a bus, you're like, ah. And everybody's like, well, you know, the Republicans are transparency pricing. It doesn't matter. I mean, God, you know, you pay cash for something. It's like you get a bill. It's $12,000. You call them up. You're like, I'm not paying $12,000. How about $3,200? Well, what happened between there and there that you could do that?
Johnny B went for a colonoscopy one time, and I think he said they told him he said he was going to pay cash, or he didn't say he was going to pay cash. They said it was $750. And he was like, well, I can't do it then. I can't afford that. And the lady was like, well, what can you afford? $200. All right, we'll put you on the schedule.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And what they do, the insurance companies, and they write everything off in between. Oh, well, the hospitals do that. The hospitals do that. Oh, really? It's an aspirin. You charge me $100 for 2 aspirin. I'm not paying that. Okay, it's $5. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And what do? They write off the $95 that they took a loss on for their aspirin. It's so insane. It is. It's a giant money grab. The only insurance companies who are screwed are the ones who insure homes in places there's fires and tornadoes and whatnot. All right, coming up, talk some Halloween stuff, a little funny stuff as well. If you missed any of the show, shame on you, grab the podcast. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Birch Gold. Birch Gold. It's great. Right now, to honor veterans, they're doing something amazing. You spend $5,000 with them, you're going to get a free silver coin celebrating the Gadsden and American flags. Not going to cost you anything, and they're awesome. Is gold right for you? Well, you got to find out. Find out the information by texting the word Benson to 989898 now. Birch will show you what they're all about. Gold's made some 60% move and is continuing to stay strong. And you've got a dollar that potentially could be precarious. You've got issues globally, not to mention a market that feels like it's built strictly on AI. Central banks, people are leaving. They're looking for other things. It's been around a millennia. It's a great way to protect yourself. Now, you have an IRA or 401k. You can move it over to Birch and have it completely tax sheltered. And what is it? It's physical gold. That's what's amazing about it. On top of that, you just might want the physical gold. Birch can help you with that. Text the word Benson now to 989898. Get the info kit. Find out if it's right for you and your family. Text the word Benson to 989898 for all the info you need from Birch Gold.
All right, drivers, we have an absolute lockdown downtown. The problem is on the South Loop going eastbound. You've got a disabled vehicle, and it is blocking 2 lanes between 65 and the downtown split. So that's backed up almost all the way to West Nashville going eastbound on the South Loop. But what you've also got, if you've got eastbound East Loop backed up all the way to the northern split because of folks running into it trying to continue east over to the eastern split. Stalled vehicle blocking 2 lanes there. 2 federal courts telling the Trump administration to do something about those SNAP food benefits. That and more coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, I like laughing. We need some of that.
My favorite holiday is Halloween, and not just because women use it as an excuse to dress like prostitutes. You ladies totally do. I'm a witch if she was a hooker. I'm Little Miss Muffet. I'm sure you are. Hey, that almost sounded dirty, fella. As a kid, Halloween was amazing. You dress like a superhero, you bang on your neighbor's door, and they give you candy. I do that today, my neighbor wants me arrested. Probably because I make a hot cat woman. Kitty wants some candy.
I love Gaffigan. He's awesome. Awesome. Coming up, hour number 3 of the holiday edition of the Chad Benson Show. Oh, we've got so much stuff still to do. Maybe we'll talk a little fright and fun. Get your Finally Friday sounds as well. Maybe some more on the government stuff because it's government time. You know, they're always doing something. Even when they're not working, they're doing something, which is driving us all crazy. Hour number 3 of the program is straight ahead. This is the Chad Benson Show.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Again, drivers, we've got a complete parking lot around the downtown loop. It looks like they're about to get the problem out of the way. What it was a stalled vehicle blocking the right 2 lanes going eastbound on the South Loop. Well, that was also backing up the eastbound East Loop. Looks like they have just got that thing moved over. So now it looks like you're going to be able to access more lanes there going eastbound on the South Loop. The far right lane is still blocked, but you got 3 lanes that you can use now. That should start clearing up here momentarily as they are now moving everything out of the way. If you have a flight to catch at BNA, you need to check with your airline because the FAA has ordered a ground delay due to a shortage of air traffic controllers at the Nashville International Airport, tied to the federal government shutdown. They say that could last until at least 5 o'clock today. 2 federal courts say the Trump administration must keep providing SNAP food assistance despite the government shutdown. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy with the latest.
2 federal judges, one in Massachusetts and another in Rhode Island, now say the administration is misreading the law and that it has to use contingency funds to provide SNAP benefits. $5 to $6 billion in the fund is not enough to cover the whole month of November, but Rhode Island-based federal judge John McConnell says the government must distribute that money as soon as possible. In Massachusetts, Judge Indira Talwani says beyond the contingency fund, the administration might have to look for other available money to provide full SNAP benefits.
Yeah, well, food banks across the U.S. have been bracing for a shutdown of SNAP benefits tomorrow. Here in Nashville, Channel 4's Joellen Bukovac reports from Second Harvest, which supports hundreds of partner agencies across the state.
Second Harvest says in just one day, Middle Tennesseans, they gave back in a really big way, but still, the need is still outpacing the supply. And right now, volunteers are rushing to pack boxes.
So Metro Nashville has put a banner at the top of Nashville.org, which you can access to seek out help with rent, maybe utility payments. Governor Lee has launched feedtn.org, a centralized website where Tennesseans can find local food distributions by selecting their county, access volunteer and donation opportunities, and connect with faith-based and nonprofit organizations mobilizing across all 95 counties. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Happy Halloween.
3 things that I will not apologize for as a modern day vampire. Number 1, I will not apologize if my outfit makes you uncomfortable. I am forced to wear this every time I leave the house, so if you're uncomfortable, think of how it makes me feel. Number 2, I will not apologize for my nocturnal schedule. I am completely allergic to the sun. There's no point in me being awake through most of the day. And number 3, I will not apologize for taking pride in calling myself a vampire. And if that bothers you, it's probably just because you can't use the word against me anymore.
Oh, my Lord.
LGBTQV?
No, just crazy. 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 She's a vampire. And she gives you a tour around her house where she's got like shades up and all kinds of stuff just in case the sun comes in and she catches fire. She's dressed up too where you can't see her but her eyes because she's worried that she could catch fire at any given time. I'm not going to apologize for that.
Does she look like she would be hot?
She looks, you know what she looked like? She's the hot chicks, the dorks who are LARPing around on the weekend, think is the hot chick. Like she's, a lick of paint here, lick of paint there. She's all right.
Okay.
Lick of paint.
Couple lead chips.
You know what I mean? I mean, she's, it's like, yeah, she's, because in some of the pictures and some of the things when I was watching this, I mean, she's got kind of a banging bod and her face is okay, But then she tells you you're a vampire, and you're like, I'm out. You're crazy. First of all, I'm a werewolf, so we're not going to get along.
That is a media distortion. Werewolves and vampires do get along.
No, we don't. We've had a falling out. So, swearwolves. You got to see that show, man. I'm telling you. What We Do in the Shadows. Have you seen that, Ken?
Never seen it.
No.
So What We Do in the Shadows was originally it's one of those pretend documentaries done by the Flying Conchords guys, and what's his name, Jermaine Clement, and was it? I always say his name wrong. Taika Waititi. Is that his name? The director.
That's close.
Yeah, I always say Tiki Tawara, but I don't think that's his name.
That sounds better.
But it's a show that is on FX where they're all vampires and they live in like Rhode Island, and because they're just hilarious.
How do you work 14 hours a day and have time to watch all these movies and TV?
It's on. See, like today, I'm watching The Exorcist, right? If you guys want to know what's going on, I'm watching The Exorcist. So what I'm doing is I'm sitting there, and I've got in my studio, and I've got my TV over here, and in between doing my show and prepping, I've got it on, and I've got the subtitles on because I'm watching it, and I can do that, and stuff that I know is going to be really cool. I try to make sure I stop it in the break so I can watch it. I'm like, oh,
here comes the puke.
Here comes the puke. Help an altar boy out, Father. So, yes, I'm dressed like Linda Blair today, if you can see it. And I also have very new respect for long-haired folks. And also a why. There is also the why. Why would you do this to yourself? Have you ever done a man bun, Bill?
No, I don't know how to do it, and I'm never really not interested in learning.
I would, after having long hair, I'd be like, I'd probably do that.
No, if I want to get my hair out of the way, I just pull it back in a ponytail.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I would do a man bun because it looks more like you're a samurai if you do it right. But again,
I did used to do a ponytail where I would take the center part of my hair and put it in a ponytail.
Yeah, that's kind of like a man bun, right?
And I still had the sides hanging down, which looks a little samurai-like.
That's cool because you want to be samurai. You could have been a samurai for
Halloween.
I
want to be a ninja.
Well, they're the same.
No, they are not.
They are.
They are not the same.
Ninjas were the samurais who were doing stuff that was too sneaky. They would put on, that's what they were. They all trained to the same thing, but they would be used in emergency like a SWAT team.
Then they would call them sneaky samurai and not ninja.
Sneaky samurai ninjas? The worst kind.
I'd be a Mandalorian. I like their helmets.
They do have helmets. Yeah, they do have pretty cool. Here's the thing. I've watched like a half episode of The Mandalorian.
It's not bad.
My buddy's like, dude, you would love this, Chad. This is the coolest one of all the crap they've ever done since they've taken over and ruined all the Star Wars stuff is this because it's like a Western in space. I'm surprised he never got his own actual movie.
There was a plan to do that, but when Solo failed, they got rid of the side.
Solo did fail. Yeah. Solo failed. So I was just, somebody just said how much they like you guys, how much they love that show. What Did We Do in the Shadows, man? It's hilarious because the one in Australia where it's set originally, they fight with the werewolves. Ooh. And the werewolves cuss, and then the head of the werewolves, guys, are we werewolves or are we swearwolves? But it is so ridiculous. It's one of those mockumentary things where they've got the camera, but you're not supposed to know there's a camera.
Yeah, like Christopher Guest.
And they've got their helper, and their helper, his name is Guillermo, and he is so funny. But they fight, there's zombies, there's werewolves, there's goblins, but the funny thing is they don't believe in ghosts. That's where they draw the line. They don't believe in ghosts. You guys have to watch. If you've never seen it, it is funny. It is absolutely. And Matthew Berry, who is in the show, somebody just said he's amazing. He is so ridiculously funny in this show because some of the stuff he does is so over the top ridiculous because they're all over the top. They live in this big mansion that's falling apart, and it is just so one of them gets a genie, and he requests something, and every time he requests something, there's always a fallout because you have to be specific. Like he wants this woman to love him. She won't stop loving him to the point of annoyance, right? And so that's the consequences to those things. So if you guys have never seen that and you want a funny thing, What We Do in the Shadows is great. The It Crowd is also great.
Somebody brought up a good point. You know, Mandalorians are not allowed to take their helmets off ever.
Yeah.
So what do they do when they're, what if,
They just don't.
Well, you got to do something or you'd run out of Mandalorians.
Well, hold on a second.
They clanking helmets?
No, I don't think. But you have to become a Mandalorian. You just can't be born.
You're not born with a little helmet on.
How do you know? Have you ever seen one give birth?
No, but it's probably like the Spartans back in the day. You get caught, or your family dies. They take this kid in, they train him up, he becomes a Mandalorian, and they get him to bite into the cult.
Let's call up Pedro Pascal right quick and find out.
Is he?
He's the Mandalorian.
Okay, he is the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He was actually both the body and voice the first season, and now he's just the voice.
He's just the voice now.
Oh, my goodness.
So he doesn't have to wear that outfit.
He doesn't even have to go into work.
He just does the voice.
That's a cool thing to do. Yeah, that's a great thing, right? Like we get to do something like that. Everybody else has got to act. That's pretty awesome. That is.
Well, you still got to act. You just don't have to do.
Yeah, but you don't have to get dressed up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I was watching, talking about the greatest horror movie of all time, The Exorcist, and even at 14, it took him 2 to 4 hours to get her in her makeup.
Wow.
And the lady who did the voice, they did the same thing to her because they wanted to film, even when she was just doing a voice part and they didn't need her, they wanted her, and they attached her to a bed that was next to, because they wanted her to go through the same things that she was going through in the movie.
Wonder if they paid her as much as Linda Blair.
Well, and funny thing is, she was Academy Award winner.
She probably got more than Linda Blair then.
Probably. Linda was 14 at the time. And I don't know if you guys know, like, the story. When the movie opened up, because this is before it opened up everywhere. So it opened up in, like, New York, Chicago, L.A. They had doctors at the theaters because people were vomiting and passing out.
If I were an usher, I would have quit first day.
Yeah. So people were throwing up. They were getting out of there as fast as possible because they were terrified by what they were seeing, because they'd never seen anything like that before. They had never seen anything where you look over and you see, this girl's head spin around. And I was watching some, like, interviews, and they were out there, and they're like, are you going to go back in? Well, I can't leave my friend in there alone, but I needed to come out here and sit down because I fainted like 20 minutes into the movie. And then people were starting to go to challenge themselves. Could they sit through the movie?
That just amazes me. You look at that now, and it's still scary, but with the head twisting around, that's so obviously a doll.
Yeah,
But it's back then, people were fainting and getting sick from it, and you watch it now, it's like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was crazy. But you got to think, again, look at the time. This is what we had. At the time, it's like even when you watch American Werewolf in London, and that's the first, Rick Baker was the first one to win an Academy Award for makeup and stuff. The hand, all that stuff. Nowadays, they do that all on computer.
Yeah.
Look at the time, though, of what you had.
The
You didn't have
work he had to put into, and the research and development that he had to do to get that to work.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like with Linda Blair, she would talk about, they wanted, and they, every day, William Friedkin, the director, they went over to her, and first thing in the morning, how are you doing? Are you okay? Because she said the further they got into it, the more that it started to become the part where, she does things that are, awful. says horrible things.
Act scared or would kill your puppy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
it does get more
the crucifix
degenerate as it goes along, and
and they wanted to make sure that, like, are you doing okay? How are you? Because she was already on television. She'd done stuff before, but nothing like this. This turned her into a megastar.
Yeah,
and then nobody would hang out with her. And think about that. They pulled her out of school. Her friends, she said, I didn't have any friends. Because nobody wanted to hang out with me. Nobody said, oh, we should write that Linda character over here, because all they thought of, she's the devil.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was.
She's not even legal.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what did they do? She dated Rick Springfield. I think she was like 16 when she dated Rick Springfield.
I think that's right. 16 or 17,
yeah.
something like that. And he was in his like mid-20s or
I think so.
Late 20s.
But, she had no friends. Well, it's like you hear stories about Drew Barrymore, right? Like they're in Studio 54, and I'm like, she's 5.
And it's Drew telling the story.
Yeah, she's 5 years old. Why is she there?
Because that's where the cocaine was.
That's where the cocaine was.
Little Drew.
I
love her.
That whole thing, and then the mysteries around the stage burned down, everything burned down, but the one room, which was the room that they were doing everything for the Exorcist. You had people die before, during, and right after the movie came out. So there was always about this curse. And was there a curse? Was there not a curse? I don't know. But it's great folklore, and it got nominated for 10 Academy Awards. People forget that's like the first real horror movie to be nominated for anything.
Did it win any?
Won 2. Best sound and best adapted screenplay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and Friedkin said this when he directed the movie, he wanted to put it where it's an average place, it's an average house, it's an average group of people, but in the average house with the average group of people in a room, something is going on. Meaning people are walking by the house every day, they're living their lives, not knowing the hell and the turmoil that is going on in that room. And what that little girl's facing. And adjusted for inflation, $2 billion. It made $400 million at $1 a ticket or whatever it was back then.
What'd they spend to make it?
Oh, God, it was nothing. It was like $10 million or something, $20 million. I mean, maybe. I mean, if you start counting in what it cost to, they go, so how much does it cost to? Because it was weird the way they did it, because, it wasn't until Jaws. It was $12 million to make, maybe 20 total. It made $441 million. That's pretty damn good.
It was originally budgeted at $5 million, and it ballooned to $12 million.
Ballooned!
Just
Father
like
cares.
with Jaws, man, over 100%.
Yeah. But it made $441 million bucks. And they knew they had a winner. See, that's the difference. With Jaws, they filmed all of this stuff. They knew they had a winner. With Jaws, Spielberg is far away. They're on ocean. You're not getting dailies every day.
He saved that movie in editing.
He saved that movie. So the most famous part of that movie the jump scare is the tooth. And Ben Gardner's boat, when they go in there.
Oh, yeah, and the head pops out.
It never worked in the original. So the editor, who won an Academy Award, they went to her house. They brought the boat in. They filmed it in her pool they put milk-like substance in there to give it murky. Then he would go to the theater and watch people react to it, and then he would leave.
Wasn't that Lucas's wife?
It might have been.
I think it was.
Yeah, so. All right, coming up, we got a little Finally Friday sounds on this Halloween. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Kids, chapter, Medicare. We talked about that last hour. How do you protect yourself when it comes to something like Medicare that changes, it seems, all the time, right? Like you're changing socks. You think, I like my, nope, gone, throw it away, get rid of those. Chapter's how you do it. So if your plan's going away or you're worried, am I paying too much for something? Why don't you try Chapter, all right? So Ask Chapter is incredible. If you lose your Medicare plan, you don't know what to do, you dial pound 250, say keyword Medicare plan. They're not a Medicare agent. They're not going to stick you in something that's going to give the most commission. They don't work for the government or big insurance companies that work for you. On average, seniors save about $1,100 a year, and it's absolutely free. And here's the other great thing. Within 20 minutes, you'll have all your options in front of you, which is awesome. There are no gimmicks whatsoever. Just advice from people that actually know Medicare and care about it. So this is what I want you to do. Dial pound 250, say keyword Medicare plan. That's pound 250, keyword Medicare plan. It's too important to risk it. Work with people I trust. It's Chapter. Dial pound 250, say keyword Medicare plan for Ask Chapter.
Good news, drivers. They have cleared that stalled vehicle that was backing up almost the entire downtown loop. But we still have some residual backups, especially if you are eastbound East Loop, and then for a little bit eastbound the South Loop before you get to 65. Got a ground delay at B&A and a federal judge in Rhode Island and one in Boston telling the Trump administration, release the SNAP benefits. Details at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Release the Kraken. That'd be great if a judge said that. I'm just kidding.
Sidney Powell did.
She did. Guess what? There was no Kraken.
Yeah.
She was Kraken free. She was on crack, allegedly, but not cracking it.
Looked like Rudy might have been on some crack.
Oh, Rudy.
That was the oddest press
Rudy
conference.
been sniffing hair dye.
When that stuff started going sideways. Oh, my Lord. It's Friday, kids. We have fun. Take a listen back to the craziness lunacy that was finally Friday.
There has been
Have you thought about being a vampire? You guys can't go out in the daytime, but
all you need is blood.
All you need is blood, right? And you can go get to, find somebody. Because if you're a vampire, there's always somebody who wants to hang out with you. So you turn them at some point. So you kind of have a snack all the time. Just a thought. Just a thought out there. A lot of people like that. By the way, we're getting a lot of Mandalorian comments. And apparently, Bell, with their family and they're alone, they're allowed to take their helmets off.
That's weak sauce then. That's a sissy rule.
What you're saying is they're not committed to being Mandalorians.
They're not.
Or whatever
There's
they
no
are.
commitment there.
What are they?
Mandalorians.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much I know about this.
They don't like Jedi.
They don't like the Jedi?
No.
Why is that?
I don't know. They had a big war.
Yeah.
Jedi and the Mandalorians had a big war.
Well, the Jedi's kind of a cult.
Well, and they got little fellas.
They do. They do have little fellas. You got to watch out for those. Those little fellas are dangerous. That's what I know. All right, coming up, talk some more about who knows what and then some. Maybe some more fun stuff about Halloween. Many of you guys give me suggestions where to take the kiddos tonight. Because last year it was raining. We really didn't do anything. We didn't want to go anywhere because it was raining pretty nasty.
You're not even really close to a home neighborhood, are you?
We're not too far away, but a lot of people are saying go to Franklin or go over here. So, got your suggestions where to take the kiddos. Charlie likes to do it. The problem with Charlie is every stop is you give her a candy. She reaches in, grabs her candy, goes, oh, I like this. I'm going to eat it now.
Right there.
We
she
get home.
gets home with nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. I'm like, ah. So, but we're all excited. So, like to find out. If you got any suggestions, let us know. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997.
.2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Check your airline. If you have a flight to catch, a ground delay is in effect at Nashville International Airport due to a shortage of air traffic controllers due to the government shutdown. And meanwhile, a federal judge in Rhode Island is ordering the Trump administration to continue funding federal food assistance. So did a federal judge in Boston. We get details from ABC News, Washington managing editor Catherine Falders.
This federal judge in Boston did rule that the administration's attempt to suspend the SNAP funding is unlawful, but that judge declined to issue an immediate order that the program be funded by the federal government. So while the judge says it's unlawful, that does not mean that all of a sudden food assistance won't go away for 42 million Americans starting at midnight.
Meanwhile, food banks across the U.S. bracing for a significant surge in demand. Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac reports from Second Harvest, which supports hundreds of partner agencies across the state.
City leaders say that if SNAP is not restored quickly, tens of thousands in Davidson County alone will feel it, and the ripple effects will hit all of the 46 counties Second Harvest serves.
Meanwhile, Metro says it's launched a resource banner at the top of Nashville.gov that connects people with rent and utility help. Governor Lee launched feedtn.org, a centralized website where Tennesseans can find local food distributions by selecting their county, access volunteer and donation opportunities, and connect with faith-based and nonprofit organizations. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures upper 50s to the low 60s this afternoon. This evening for trick-or-treating, we'll be down to the 50s, a mostly clear sky, and a pretty light wind for us. So good news for the kids that'll be out and about this evening. Overnight tonight, we're down to the 40s and the 30s. Tomorrow we'll start with more cloud cover. Be ready for some rain showers late in the day and overnight on Saturday, though we should find a good amount of dry time through the day. Lingering shower on Sunday. We'll stay in the 50s in the afternoon, but dry things.
United Structural Systems ready to help you. Don't be tricked out of anything. Call them if you've got anything that you think you may need to have taken a look at, like you got some cracks. Next thing you know, maybe there's been some water built up, and over time it's become, well, potentially moldy Well, you got some wood rot. You don't want that. Foundation repair, crawl space repair, sinkhole repair, concrete lifting. I can't concrete lift. Can you? No. That's why you need United Structurals. It's that simple, guys. Basement waterproofing, mold treatment, you name it, they can do it. And here's the great thing. They're not going to charge you anything. They're going to come out and give you a full inspection absolutely free. It's better be safe than sorry, especially now. As we get told, it's a time of the year where you worry maybe those pipes start freezing up in a couple months. Next thing you know, you haven't checked on it. Last year, there was a little pinhole leak. It gets worse. Don't let that happen to you. Call USS today. Just have them give them once over. 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855. Or check out everything they do. Simple and easy. Online at USSTN.com. All right, guys, Prize Picks ready for you to join Prize Picks. You download the app. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app. You pick, let me tell you guys, it's simple and easy. Like, what do you do? It's more or less based on player projected stats, okay? So, and you're picking more or less, and it's not teams. It's Shohei Ohtani. Will he have more than 1.5 hits tonight? Well, that could be a lineup. You look over there and you say, okay, this weekend we got football. Well, Josh Allen passed for more than 225 yards. That's a lineup, more or less. That's how you pick. 2 sets of lineup. You go up to 6. You win 2,000 times your money and get your money's easy and it's fast and secure with Prize Picks. Here's the great thing. You download the app, use my code Chad, you get $50 instantly in lineups straight into your account, win or lose on your first $5 play. It's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Download the Prize Picks app today. Use my code Chad to get $50 instantly in lineups. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789. Is it Baby Yoda? Is that what it is? Is that who's? It's not Yoda, by the way.
It's what they called him in the first episode. His name's Grogu.
His name's Grogu.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson named his dog after.
Yeah. His name is Grogu, but it's not. But he came out and he's like, we love him. He's great. I'm like, by the way, I've tasted a few of them. They're horrible.
Little Baby Yodas?
Yeah, they taste like raisins.
Yeah. How old is he, Bill? He's like 900 years old or something?
No. Yoda was 900 years old. I think Grogu's supposed to be something like 100.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm sure somebody on the
He's still a
text line will
baby.
tell us.
A little fella.
He's just a little fella. That's right. He's he's small. Is what we're trying to say.
A little fella whip your ass.
Well, that's because they're part of a cult. And that's how Scientology starts.
Space Mormons.
The Mormons are going to now start attacking us because Bell did it again. 3i Atlas. Somebody said, do you have any conspiracies? So if you guys know what 3i Atlas is, it's the spaceship coming here. I was watching Matt's buddy, Dusty. He was on with Nate Bargatze. He goes, I don't know why everybody thinks that if these are aliens, that they're smarter than us. And everybody kind of looked at him like, dude, are you being serious right now? They would travel 50 billion years to get here, and they wouldn't be smarter than us? Well, maybe they're just good at travel.
It could be. They might have a good travel agent.
They're pretty good at travel. But it's not. This is what I think is going to happen. It's happening soon. All right? By the way, even J.D. Vance talked about UFOs the other day. They asked him about UFOs and whether or not, he thinks that this is going to, aren't you curious about it? He's like, yeah, I kind of am getting curious about it. And, because we've been so busy with other stuff and I want to focus on it. And they asked him, do you believe in it? He says, well, they might be demons. They might be angels. They might be this. They might be that. All I know is I'm saying my prayers and hoping for the best. And unfortunately, his wife, was her name Ushra? Yeah, she's not. Did you see today what he said about her? Because I'd love her to be a Christian, but, she's not. She's like a secular Hindu. Oh, JD. But do I think it's interesting. The 3i Atlas is coming here.
Usha.
It's coming here. How far is it going to be from here? I don't know. What are the chances of us, there's all this stuff with it, but it has been odd in the way that it's moved, in the way that it's behaved. It's slowed down. It's sped up. It's changed course. It's done stuff that normally you wouldn't see happen. It's made of nickel, apparently. Just a whole bunch of nickels all pulled together. That's what they're here for, actually. They're coming here to get all the nickels they can get. You guys are the worst aliens ever. But I don't think they are. Well, if they're coming here, they're coming here to destroy us. That's it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but my assumption is if you're coming here, you're probably coming here because you want to conquer us.
That, or like Senator Kennedy said, maybe they'll just roll the windows up as they drive by.
They might just get in and go, yeah, this is a very loud place. This is very loud. Do I think that they're... No, I look, if there is something... And look, I'm not one... I don't think we're the only ones out there. Infinity is a long, long way. I think people think we just get to a point where there's just nothing, right? Like it's a door. We hit a door. We can't go any further. But I think that if there is anything, it's dimensional. So the different dimensions are there. And sometimes we get wobbles in those dimensions. Somebody will come through and go out and come through and go out. And the more that you see, astrophysicists and stuff, it used to be like it was 3%. But the more that science has grown, the more that they're like, yeah, there's a very good chance that we're just kind of living in the world, a Sims world.
Rod Serling was way ahead of himself.
Yeah. Way ahead of himself. Absolutely. And so was, go look at The Matrix.
Yeah.
Because that's all about different dimensions. So, so is there another, like I said yesterday, there's a dimension where we're like ZZ Top, three of us. We're not on a radio show. We're rocking out somewhere. And there's another dimension where, we can start talking about there's all of these different dimensions. And I think it's more that than anything else, if there was to be. And we might think of them as aliens. And if there is aliens, I think we shouldn't be looking in the sky. I think we need to look in the ocean.
Well, if we're like ZZ Top, don't tell my wife about LaGrange.
About the what?
About LaGrange.
I won't.
She'd probably like your extra-dimensional beard better.
That's true.
Larry says, you won't see aliens, but you will see the Antichrist. Well, where are we going to see the Antichrist? Well, I know it's Peter Thiel, because that guy, all he talks about is the Antichrist. It's like, dude, can you shut up? Did you see the interview where he was, because if you guys know anything about Peter Thiel, he's one of the PayPal mafia guys. He funded a lot of Trump stuff and big behind Palantir and all of this stuff. He's really now, like, his hobby is the Antichrist. Like, that's a serious hobby. And somebody asked him, because he started getting into, it's going to be about computers and this, that, and the other. And then somebody said, how do you know you're not the Antichrist? And he's like, I don't. I'm like, well, that's not a good answer. That feels a little off. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, because there is, even some of the people that you know are pure cynics are like, look, there's something odd about this. And then, you start hearing stories about what the government's doing, where some of the government's living. By the way, have you seen that? A lot of the government, the higher-ups, the Stephen Millers and whatnots, they're now living on bases in special housing. And they're like, well, we're worried about political violence. I'm like, are you? Or are you worried about the aliens? Are you worried about the aliens?
Don't trust the government to protect you. Get yourself a luxury underground bunker.
For $2.99. For $2.99. Maybe they're coming here to get the Bigfoots. Maybe that's who they're coming to get. Just like was it the Star Trek where they came to get the whales?
Yeah.
Remember that? They came to get the whales. That's so...
Voyage home.
They came to get the whales.
And I loved when they beamed the whales into the tank, but the tank was full of water, so I kept going, how the hell are they supposed to breathe?
Yeah. And why didn't the water, like, totally, when you put them in there, like you drop ice, it didn't explode?
Just go over the top.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jared Kushner will be the Antichrist, says one person. No, that's not very nice.
Can you be Jewish and be the Antichrist?
Well, I mean,
Guess it could be anybody.
Yeah, I think so. It can be, right? Can it be anybody? Or is it got to be... Yeah, it's got to be a certain... it can't be an old dude. I think it's got to be somebody younger who's charismatic. That kind of rules Jared Kushner out. He's not very charismatic.
He's not very charismatic.
Yeah, he's got a very flat personality.
If you're going with somebody, you got to have somebody who's like, that guy just seems like a duh. I mean, he's smart and he's rich, and boy, he never had any advantages. Worked his way up came here with tens of millions of dollars in my hand. And look at me now. The Bigfoot thing, that'd be interesting. They came here, got the Bigfoot. That's all they wanted?
Maybe they're just, picking up. Vacation's over, and they're coming here to pick them up.
Maybe Wookiees. Was that what they were called? Wookiees?
Yes. Maybe
they're big feet.
Could be.
They have big feet.
They do. They're tall. Yeah, I think they're in the ocean, too. What was that noise?
That was me laughing.
What? And it's funny, because he always says, what do you mean we got to do this? And the thing's like, I didn't say that. I said, you're always wanting to do what you want to do. You never say, you know what, you're right. You're right. What was his name? Chewbacca? Chewie? You're right, yeah. Chewie. We don't need to fight this battle for this chick that's going to kiss her brother, and we're going to just ignore that happen.
She's going to kiss her brother instead of me.
Yeah. And they land on that planet with the little itty bitty guys that are just like the Wookiees.
Yeah, little Ewoks.
Yeah. That have mastered hair.
And they have bow and arrows.
They have bow and arrows and rocks. But oh, by the way, they can do a French braid. You know what? Somebody said Taylor Swift could be the Antichrist. Again, got to be charismatic. Got to be able to lead. Singing isn't leading, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Singing isn't leading. Ken, are you nervous for this weekend?
Yes.
So you got a big game?
Got a big game. Got to take on them Vols. High-powered offense.
They're orange.
Oh.
And it's at night, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a night game.
And they're going to do that spooky...
Well, it's going to be the big... I think they called it a blackout at Neyland Stadium, where everybody's going to wear their black Vols uniforms. Mostly black, then orange tees. And
then they're going to do the spooky Rocky Top. That spooky Rocky Top's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie to you. But you know what's fun? Shutting up 108,000 people.
Oh, man, if we could do that, boy, that'd be something.
That's what's fun. That's what's fun. You have a chance. I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
Well, that's why they play the games.
That's why they play the games. I mean, that's it. They play the games because you never know what might happen. Anything is possible.
We're going to need them to make some mistakes.
Yes, but anything. And you guys are much closer. It's not like they used to tell stories of Lou Holtz would tell Notre Dame. They're playing Barbizon School of Cosmetology. Right? They're 116-point favorites. And he's like, we may lose this game, guys.
Yeah.
We may lose it. That crap like that. Yeah, nobody buys that, Lou. All right? It's crap, Lou. You're not a motivator. You're an old guy with big ears. Chad, that's very mean. All right, coming up, I see him. He's wandering around. Matt's going to join the program as we bid you adieu on this Halloween. We'll do that straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. We're wrapping it up on this scary day. We are. Elephant sanctuary in Tennessee. What?
You don't know about the elephant sanctuary in Tennessee? Hohenwald, baby. I feel like we've had this discussion.
No.
We need to go.
Yeah.
They won't let you see the
movie
elephants
there, Matt?
They won't let you see the elephants.
Didn't they film a movie there?
Did they?
It was about, like, Matt Damon was in it or something?
Oh, we own a zoo or whatever it was?
Maybe that was. Maybe that's true, Bill. I don't know.
Wait, so they don't let you see the elephants?
No.
Then why would I go to a place that's like, hey, guys, come over
That's
to my
not what it's
aquarium.
for.
There's nothing in there.
It's not for you. It's for the elephants.
Okay.
So their position is...
Are they asking me for money?
They are. Okay. So their position... So you can go to the... So they have a visitor center in downtown Hohenwald.
Yeah.
Where they have a lot of cameras set up so you can see the elephants in that way. And then you can learn about them. But they, gather elephants from all over the world. And their position is, and I kind of have a respect for this, they're like, we don't let humans see these elephants because we feel like humans have done enough to these elephants.
Yeah.
So they get them from like circuses and, captivity or whatever.
Absolutely. I can understand
I told this story the other day. It's fascinating and this is true, that they've been doing this for like 30 or 40 years. And they had an elephant that was with them, that's been with them like 20 years. And when they get new elephants in, they, segregate them for a while just to make sure they acclimate them to the situation, to make sure they don't have an elephant fight or whatever. And they brought this one elephant in from a different part of the world, and this elephant started going absolute bonkers. And another elephant in a completely different part of the sanctuary started going bonkers. They had no idea why these two elephants were going bonkers, but they were just going crazy, just trumpeting and doing all these things. They do research, and they found out these elephants had been together 25 years before. And they remembered each other and knew each other, and they brought them back together. There's video of this online. It's absolutely fascinating.
That's what I was talking about. Elephants have such a long memory.
And it's odd because you're dressed like an elephant today.
I am, very much so. I'm dressed like the one and only Mrs. Reagan McNeil from the incredible Exorcist.
Yeah, that one will change you when you watch the unedited version.
Yes, it does.
And even the rated R version, I think for a while was edited.
Yeah.
Because they cut out a couple of scenes. Yeah.
It's an uncomfortable watch.
It makes you think, if this is what they left in, what the hell did they take out?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
They were never getting any kind of, like, as we were talking the other day about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Toby Hooper, who was the guy who did the movie, he kept talking to the Motion Picture Association, trying to get a G rating because there was no blood or cussing in it. They gave him originally an X. He was like, "What?" So you think about what was in the unedited versions of the director's cut, where they wanted,
Man, that's still that scene where that there's the scene in Texas Chainsaw where Leatherface comes out and he grabs a girl and he gets her to the door. It's still one of the creepiest scenes in all of horror movies, where he gets her to the door and she's screaming and there's music playing and there's everything's building up, and then that door slams and then it's silence.
Yeah.
And it's a beat of silence, and you're like, holy Lord, what is going on behind that door?
What kind of hell is that woman going through?
What kind of a hell? I mean, but the juxtaposition between the screaming and the yelling, and then the silence. And the boom. And it was like, well, it's over for you, ma'am.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
This is not going to work the way you think.
This is not going to, you're not getting out of there.
This is definitely not it. What are you doing today? What are you talking about?
We'll get away from politics. I mean, we got to do a couple of the bigger stories, because obviously now Trump's calling for an end to the filibuster, yada, yada, yada. But we'll do that. We'll have some fun. I mean, it's a Friday. It's Halloween.
It's the ween, baby.
And I don't know about you, Chad, but I kind of like Halloween. Do you like Halloween? I can't tell.
I've heard that Halloween is I didn't know. This is my normal Friday outfit. This is my normal. It took me a while to get ready.
You like the hair, don't you?
You know what? It drives me crazy. It's all over the place.
You don't know what to do with it.
I don't.
Maybe put it up. I don't know.
Well, we were talking about man buns earlier.
Yeah?
I don't know if I could do a man bun. I don't know. I don't think Reagan had a man bun.
I don't think so either.
She didn't. She had a lot of other problems, but a man bun, one of them.
You ever been? I went to. I've seen the steps.
Oh yeah, Maryland or DC,
Georgetown, I think, or something like that.
Right,
yeah, the steps. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
old Father Karras or whatever his name is.
Fell down. He broke his neck, and he didn't really break his neck because it was spun around. And then Father Karras, come at me, get at me.
Don't get anywhere near Chad. He'll turn your head around.
You guys be looking out for us tonight, because we're going to be trick-or-treating with the whole family. You have a good, safe Halloween. We'll do it again on Monday. Matt's right ahead. Boomer Sooner!